How you guys doing out there, man? It's your boy Jax again, back for another one, man. I just wanted to do a little video. It's September 12th right now. Yesterday was the 15th anniversary for September 11th. And I was just, sitting back doing what I do, observing everything. And one thing I noticed, man, is, I got a lot of friends, a lot of black friends, a lot of white friends, and a lot of Mexican friends. And it seemed like most of my white friends were posting, we'll never forget, you know, uh, paying homage to September 11th. And I respect that. And then I noticed too that most of my Mexican and black friends, they didn't really have the same reaction as everybody else. Even in my neighborhood, my wife actually brought this to my attention. It was kind of funny. She made a joke. We kind of looked like she walked outside and she noticed that our white neighbors all put the American flag up. They all have the American flag in their yard, and we kind of live next to this Mexican family, and I believe they're first generation, so they're real traditional, and they're they're still kind of on the traditional side of things. And they don't have any flag up, and neither do we. And she kind of cracked a joke like, you see, all the blacks and the Mexicans don't want to put their flags up. You know what I mean? Leave it to the blacks and the Mexicans not to put their flag up during September 11th. And then I kind of thought about it, like, damn, you're kind of right. Like, do colored people feel like, raising their flag? Why are we not as patriotic as, say, your average white family in America? Like, what is that? Is it a sense of detachment from, the things that this country is supposed to provide? Is that what it is, or is it something deeper than that? Like, what exactly is it? And then not even just the flag thing in the neighborhood, but I'm looking down my timeline, and most of my black friends, they're not paying homage to September 11th. They're kind of like posting stuff, like they're posting photos of hangings, back in the day when people got hung in public. And, they're making little memes, and they're putting like the Twin Towers up against, some racial stuff. And you know, it's very entertaining from my perspective. It's interesting. It makes you think. I know some people would look at it and just would not be able to understand why we always have to bring it back. Why black people seem to always bring it back to slavery. Everything comes back to slavery. You know what I mean? I think that's how they view it. But it's kind of funny to me because, if I could just be general for a minute, which is never a good thing, but if I could just generalize for a minute, it's like most of the white people, they're, you know, they're being more patriotic, I guess you could say, than the colored people. And I just wanted to ask, why do you guys think that is? Why do you, or do you feel that way at all? Do you feel like colored people aren't as patriotic as, say, an average Caucasian family that's American? It's just something that I kind of looked at. But just touching on the subject of September 11th for a minute. I remember when it happened. I think I was about 15 years old, and I was getting ready for school. I was getting ready for math class, and my mom told me turn on the TV. Look at what's going on, and I turned it on, and seen a fucking plane fly right into the building. Now, when it happened, I'm not even gonna lie. When it happened, I'm young, I'm 15. Like, it didn't really sink in like that. But once that was all they talked about for the next 2 months on the news, like strictly, like literally, that was all they talked about. for months. I was sick and tired. By the time everything calmed down, I was so tired of hearing about planes. But it was crazy. It was a crazy event. If you was of age at that time, you know how it was. Like, it was so crazy that when it happened, the day after September 11th, there were no planes in the sky. Like, I think they kept the planes grounded for like a whole 24, 48 hours. No planes. Like the day of September 11th, no planes. You couldn't find a fucking plane in the sky. I don't give a fuck where it was. Like no planes. All planes were grounded. It was crazy, man. And I do want to say rest in peace to the families that lost people, because that is fucked up, and the way they died was really fucked up. But just going back to the subject, yeah, man, I don't feel like black people or Mexicans or even Asians, for that matter, that are Americans. I don't believe we're not connected like the rest of American society when it comes to things of that nature. Now, especially with the World Trade Center situation, just the location of where it happened and who it happened to, it didn't leave a lot of, it wasn't like in the epicenter of the urban community. So, it didn't affect us like it did Caucasians. I think that's just my personal opinion. You guys give me your opinion, all right? Remember, please subscribe. This your boy Jax. Get your life together, and I'll see you later. Peace.